What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Y'all already see the title. Y'all already know what we're about to start diving into. It is how to build Thorin like a Chad. Okay, so I'm bringing it back to y'all. Y'all already see level 50. Respect 4. Y'all know I was on the grind. Y'all know I wasn't going to do this if I wasn't bringing it at you from an experienced player somehow managing to pull him. I'll even roll the clip. Oh my god, we got him! We got him! Yes! Woo! y'all already knew whenever I draw that he was going to be coming. Alright, so really happy to get him, obviously. Was able to get him up, get him to 50. He was one of the ones I really wanted to make a video on, and all the new commanders I'll be making videos on as soon as I can. But wanted to get into Thorin though. Really hyped about him. The King of the Mountain phase is what gave him such a higher ranking in the video. If not, he was going to be lower. I'm going to be honest. But that made him so good. So let's go ahead and dive straight into how I've got him built in items. I'm going to go over his respect 10 item, if you're even able to get it. Alright, I'll be honest. If you're able to get it, kudos to you, but we'll dive into that as we go. So let's go into how I have him built stat-wise. So he gets leader. He gets 5 command. I'm a bigger fan of having like 75 troops at the end of it with the stat that Dane Ironfoot has, for instance, where he has that bonus physical damage. I'd rather have that. Leader's fine. I've actually seen pretty good results with it. It works with his kit. It works with his kit, though. I'll give it that. So let's go into items. Now, I have them set up with mainly might focus. Don't take exactly the items that I have. Use them around where I probably have them built towards. I have him strengthened up with might. Now, he would work really well with the Hammer of Moria, but I like having him with the Axe of Khazad-dûm. After the commander attacks, he gets to inflict a 50% chance of minus 25% armor. That works well with the units that he's going with. I've got him set up with Scale Mail. It's a decent might focus a little bit more for defense. Might for his standard, mainly what he's damaging as. Cask of Pride. Really, he's mainly going to be using defense. He's always going to have melee. So the defense on melee is really good. The stun immunity is kind of whatever. It's 15%. You might get that off in one round. But in reality, though, I don't think this is all that good of a unwavering, really, in general, because it's kind of random whenever stuns are going to go off in the first place. So it's a kind of hit or miss item. So it's really just for the stat stick. Might and HP, really good item on him. You might be seeing recovery received and why I chose that one over the other one, for instance. Kind of go a little bit into that whenever we start diving into him in his portrait, which let's get into right now. Let's go ahead and get into why he's such a Chad. He's a Chad monster, to be honest. Okay, Oakenshield, Revitalist, King Under the Mountain, and Kings of the Durance Folk. So, first tree, obviously, let's go ahead and reset here. So, based upon how you're leveling him, let's say you wanted to start him. I'll go ahead and walk you through the steps of, if you were starting him, what you would go with all trees. Okay, Oakenshield is going to be a clear winner, mainly because of the damage and how fast it activates and the stack effect. So, if you are activating, no matter what, this is one of those skills that no matter what, you put 1 point into, and you get a large majority of the good effect. That allied army right there doesn't go up whenever you see, so watch. Only the damage goes up. So even if you were to go Revitalist tree, and then go King Under the Mountain, you want to get 1 point in Oakenshield no matter what, though. So, Topple. This is another one. You see, I'm getting you. I'm teaching y'all a little bit how to build. And follow along with my thought process a little bit. With Topple, for instance, you see, only the damage goes up right here. You get that 50% chance of stunning them, though. That stays the same. If you just get 1 point in that ability, you get the stun effect. That's what's really important. It's part of what makes him really good, though. So, if I was doing him starting, I would mainly do you see, this right here scales really well with the middle tree. Okay, so that's the reason why you do a lot of points in Deliberate Strike. Like if I was doing Revitalist King of the Mountain build, for instance, I would do 2 points in Oaken Shield and 1 point in Topple, and then do full Revitalist and King of the Mountain. But because of the way I'm building him with the middle tree, I'm going to go all the way in Deliberate Strike. And let's kind of go into why. 300% minimal, 700% top. That's a lot of damage, alright? That is the meme. That's a lot of damage, alright? And let's explain how you get this higher. King Under the Mountain, okay? Dwarves HP plus 2. He is a dwarf-only commander, okay? I'll be honest. Even in Mixed, he's a dwarf-only commander. And even Dane Ironfoot is mostly going to be dwarf-only. So, King Under the Mountain, go ahead and get this all up. This is such a good ability. And I'll explain why. This is one of those that you want to get all 15 points because not only do the damage goes up, the dwarf's allied defense goes up at 15. Do y'all see the synergy here between Oaken Shield? Damage received, 5%. Okay? The dwarf's defense goes up every time this hits. By about round 5, you've already got a tanky team going on. You're scaling, no matter what, into the fight itself. This man is so good with the leader skill. He's good with the leader skill for a good reason. So, Dwarf Grid. Alright, so the first 4 instances, skill damage goes up. So that means that if this thing hits 50%, you can hit 1,000. Now, it's deal 300% through 7,000. Let's even that out at 500% though. Let's just take an average, might as well. You know, 50% of that though, 750% damage. Alright, that's pretty crazy. That is as high as all in, but you don't get the negative effect though. You don't get the negative effect. So that's the reason why those skills pair so well. What I like doing is going all into Longbeard because the commander is doing a bunch of experience. You see, it's not good on other experience where you're buffing, but where Thorin is doing a bunch of damage, you want to do him where he's going through a bunch of defense. You know, this provides these skills all coordinate well whenever you're going through so much. This allows you to keep doing damage. Then wrap up here with more skill damage effects. Now, you could say, oh, why didn't you go into Revitalist? You see, you aren't getting a whole lot of damage out of that for what you're going in. Now, I will admit, you could probably rework this a little bit and dive further out. So let's try another possible build where you have him set up with 2 troops in some instances where, like how I have him set up right now, for instance. And I want to kind of go over some of the things. So I have them set up right now with Iron Warriors and Master Throwers. So Dwarf only, still, no matter what. And I've been kind of alternating between throwing in Ram Riders as well, with them being the fastest unit. They get to proc their effect. I've actually seen really good results with just using 2 units. So this is where his R0 is really strong as well. He's a really good base commander. Even if you pull him, I would still use him. Let's go into why. So that is not the right one. Okay. So let's say you want to do a Revitalist tree and you want to do Oaken Shield as well. So this is what makes Balance so good as well as the Revitalist tree. So you can also do full Revitalist tree. This is partly where the Imp Moot thing comes in. It's just a little bit of extra healing in the end. The max effect is whenever you get really good. So whenever you get recover HP to 2 allied units, you get 100% to 2 units though. So whenever you're taking damage from your melee and your ranged unit, because you want to use 1 of each, you're going to be just proccing that heal on and off. This is where he becomes more of like a possible CC commander as well, with being the leader skill and allowing you to do more. So right here, first 4 rounds, you get that 50% chance. That is first 4 rounds against 2 enemy targets. That's every round going off. 50% chance of going stunned every round. That is crazy good. Then all you do right here, you get this. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. You've got 2 stuns built into his kit. That is so crazy. That is so crazy for a commander in R0 to have 2 stuns built into his kit. Okay. Now, this is something I'm a bit mixed about because of his high stat focus right here. Even at 23%, modified by the speed, by the focus stat. If this was might, this man would be a monster. I will admit, this was somehow based off of that. So this right here, I wouldn't do as many points. I'd still max this out because it's on a round 1 cooldown. You still get that damage going off. And I would do less points going into this right here. So at R0, you'd have a little bit less points. But I would still go into this, go ahead and get that high damage possibility, and then do topple itself. So I do have a few extra points with being R4, and I have the first 2 with this right here being unlocked. So I have 2 extra skill points as well. So if you're wondering where some of the extra skill points are coming from, I would just make sure you get 1 point in topple, 15 in both of these, 7 in frightened. I would do more deliberate strike, and then I would do inspiration last. So, for instance, Revitalist, frightened, Oaken Shield, 1 point in topple, 7 points in deliberate strike, and then whatever the rest in inspiration to go and get that full unit building. Because with him being leader, he gets that more utilization out of having more units. So that's more about how I'd have him built if I'm running 2 units, especially R0. That's going to be his main thing. But the build that I'm running him with right now is full Oaken Shield all the way through. I think that's going to be his best skill no matter what. Durin's Folk, I haven't spoken about it. It's not worth using. I'm going to be honest. Melee units, sure, you get the counter attack, and then you get the parry skill. The parry is kind of whatever. It's not important. It's a bunch of damage reduction, but at the end of the day, he's a damage dealer. He's not a unit buffer completely. He's not like the Witch King. You know, the Witch King, I even stated in the tier list video, he was a unit buffer. He's not a complete unit buffer. He's not. He builds it into his kit. It's part of who he is. Now, the way that I have him built, for instance, is all the way through on both 15, King of the Mountain, all the way through. I really like this damage skill, really good. All the way through right here. This is so good. You're going to get the most utilization of your skills. You're going to go Longbeard all the way through. Go and get this. Get all 7 right here, baby. All deliberate strikes where a lot of your damage is going to come from. 2 points right here. Right here. Go ahead and throw that in. So that's the way I have them built right now. Topple is good, don't get me wrong, but only going up by 50% though isn't that much. So that's the reason why I've chosen to go a little bit more with the Revitalist route. It's not exactly a lot of healing, but it does throw in an extra skill proccing. You do have the possibility of that slight frightened chance. So, on the RNG fact that you land frightened going off, because if it's there, it has a possibility of going off. It's where he's going to be getting a lot of his utility out of. So it just throws it in there. It's a good skill to have no matter what. And the units that you build with him are kind of self-explanatory. Iron Warriors, I'm obviously Dwarven. Obviously, I'm going to make most use of him. He works really well with Master Throwers, especially with Dwarven equipment. He works even better with. I would mainly state I've had my best results with 2 units. So let's go into some of the battle reports that I had. Kind of, you know, just rounding this out here. So I kind of just want to show y'all right here. So I was guarding a tile, and these guys came to attack me. You might be seeing, oh, it's level 39. Oh, no problem. So I not only guarded this, I guarded this. I then guarded this. Then I guarded this. I was able to guard 4 tiles. 4 attacks. I was able to withdraw from a 42 Aragon, 41 Gimli, a 39 Haldir, and a 37 Merry&Pippin. From 1 unit composition of just 2 units. And I was doing my build of mainly King Under the Mountain and Oaken Shield all the way through. I did have Topple leveled in this instance, I was trying out this build. I've been mainly mixing it up and going through different stats and mainly what worked for me. But this is just one instance of it working really well. All four. He's an absolute monster. If you get him, that's the reason why I kind of went back and forth between him and Dane, because he works so well with the Frightened tree, or I should say Revitalist tree as well. His R0 is really solid. Overall, though, a great gold commander. Now that you two on the good side, there's a large range of gold commanders, and this is my only gold on the good side, guys. So y'all know that Thorin's an OG. He's really good, needless to say. I want to dive lastly into his item, and then we'll call it there. So his item, it's pretty crap. I'm gonna be honest. R10, don't even worry about it. Get him R5, call it a day at that. But honestly, R3, you can call it there. So the reason why I say maybe call it there, that's his maximum usage probably per investing, I would say. Unless they buff R5, he's not worth getting it in. I really just have him R4 because he's going to stop at R4. He's not going any higher. I'll promise you that much. So, he gains bonus damage against orcs and Uruk-hai. Damage received when the army includes orcs. The might is okay, and the attack on dwarves is its best part. So, because he already uses dwarves, it stacks well with him. But in terms of might itself, that's a solid thing. But the amount of investment for a gold to get a gold item on top of that, it's not worth it. So, I'm going to leave y'all there. I think I've covered just about everything about Thorin. My experience with him, he's an absolute boss. Don't get me wrong. He is a gold, though. He is a gold. So, really good commander. Really solid unit. He is a full unit. I will admit, he's a full Chad. He's a short Chad. He is a short folk Chad. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm bringing it back. Y'all already see the 50s I've got. Y'all know we already got some exploring to do with the series. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it nonetheless, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what we've been able to put out. Without further ado, this is P&P and my kids, IRL, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.